Hello, everyone. We're live. Hi, Anka. How are you?
I'm very well indeed. I'm delighted to be here with you.
Good, good. I'm so excited that I'm speaking to Anka today, and we're hoping that we're going to be giving out more content and value around what is the connection between being a tech buff and really knowing how to do the tech stuff and relationships or needing help with the tech and knowing how to ask for that assistance. Anka and I have had a lot of conversation around the connection between technical challenges and relationship. What do you got to share with us today, Anka?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. And it's an interesting topic, right? Because I think people can often go, oh my God, check thing, I don't want, and like, I can sum it up with one insight that I've had a while ago and I keep seeing it. And it's basically what looks like a tech problem never is. And initially I used to say it hardly ever is because there was this like, oh yeah, but there are error messages and stuff does go wrong. But now challenge me. It never is.
So it's never just about the tech issues.
It never is. Like it never is most of the time. It's when it's just see that's where we're already it's like, oh, it's just like a relationship. When you make assumptions, you get yourself into trouble. Right?
Beautiful.
And
You
when you
mind
skip over,
read.
yeah, when you skip steps, it's going to be hard. And when you make assumptions, you're just setting yourself up for trouble. And you see it a lot when most of the time people come and say, oh, well, I don't know, I don't like my, because the thing is, the tech stuff is usually where a problem surfaces, where it hurts, where people can see it, right? But when you actually look at, oh, I don't know, like there's this website and I don't know where to put whatever. Yeah, and most of the time, when you go, okay, so if I come to your website, like the website's just one example, it's the same for online courses or events or like anything else you want to do online. So if I come to your page, what's the first thing you want me to see? And why? How will I know that this is for me? And the amount, like, yeah, 9 out of 10 people go, well, this and that, and they start rambling on, and you go, well, wait, that ain't gonna appeal to anyone, right? So usually it's about taking a step back and thinking through about the experience, and you go back to relationships. It's like, oh, you cannot just blurb out what you see through your like from your perspective. And I think it's incredible how hard it is for all of us to put ourselves into the shoes of a potential visitor to your site, to your whatever, right? Or even your post on social media. So, what is it that somebody else will get from this? What is it what will make this worth their while for somebody else? So, again, you have to put yourself into the shoes of the other person in
Right,
order to know what needs to be on your thing. Right. So
right.
again,
I
we're
love
back to relationships. Like you can't just go like, well, I see it this way, this is how it is.
right.
Well, good luck with that, right? So you really have to have that empathy and that,
I would
how
say,
would that same look from
hmm,
that thing look from a different angle?
I would say that you need that curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about habits, and habits are great in terms of we can drive automatically. We know when we wake up in the morning, put our feet on the ground. But when it comes to relationships, we want to try, and especially long term relationships, we want to try and maintain that curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
And just in a previous conversation, I was saying to you how after 30 plus years of marriage, my husband made a request of me when it came to washing up knives that I had no idea had any meaning or significance to him, but I was so happy to make the change that he'd asked for. Um, but I would never have known because it wasn't a topic that had come up, like the way you wash the knife, blah blah blah. Um, so I would say that a big value is being curious in both. Being curious, like I don't know how to do this. You and I were just talking about some technical stuff before we jumped on, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. But part of it really appeals to me, and I can get someone else to do it for me or to certainly help me or teach me.
Mm.
But I need to be able to
Yeah.
say, I can't do that. Can you
Yes.
help me? And what do you
Absolutely.
need from me? If I'm asking you to help me, what do you need from me to support you in helping me? Oh, well, Beverly, I'm going to need your content. I can't just do the
Mm.
technical stuff if you're not going to produce the content. And I'm not writing your content because it's about you. So we're going to do this together because we
Absolutely.
want the bigger result, the bigger picture to be of our togetherness, that we can
Yeah.
create this together.
Absolutely. And curiosity, I think, is really the key word. And it's one of those things that are always, when people ask you, what's one tip you give, when it's around tech monster kind of stuff, the one tip I always give is like, what if you tried looking at this, assuming that you have what it takes to figure it out,
Beautiful.
right? So because your whole it's like that little shift kind of usually takes people from, oh, I don't like her and you're now my little project, because I'm like, yeah, I've heard this before. Oh, I want a podcast, but I don't want to know any of, like, yeah, and she's now editing all her own podcasts because she enjoys it, right? So it's not just because you don't know now doesn't mean you can't learn, and it might be more enjoyable than you can imagine now. There's still time
Right.
to give it to somebody else, but you would not be the first one to
And
actually, once you see how it works. So all you know now is right now, I wouldn't know how to do it.
I love
But it
that.
doesn't mean that once somebody shows you how to do it, you might not go, oh well, I can do that. Right? So you
Right.
definitely
I
would not be
love
the
that. I
first.
love that expansion. Like,
Mm-hmm.
come to it with, I have no clue how to do this, but be willing to maybe learn, possibly. Maybe I'll decide, no, that's not where I want to spend my time. As I was
Absolutely.
telling you, somebody told me, you want to get out on Facebook, you need to put posts out on for 6 months, you need to prepare posts. And I'm like, that just made me do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when it is something that you want, and there's so many ways of getting your stuff out there on social media, right? Expressing
Yeah.
yourself on social media, as we've discovered, you can be curious and then possibly be expanded. And that also goes into all your relationships. Wow, this was frightening. I took one step. Can you show me?
Mm-hmm.
And that expanded me, and that expands that ability to connect as well, that you're not so different
Absolutely.
from me. It's not that you've got it and I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
It's that drawing together when we come closer.
Just like the knives, it's exactly the same process, right? Mm,
Right, I love
yeah.
that. Well, this was great, Anka. Thank you so much. Is there any last minute tip you'd like to share?
Well, I think that's it. I'm going to let you just sit with that, like
Beautiful.
work off the assumption, what if you had, what if you knew for sure that you have what it takes to figure this out?
I love that. What if you know for sure that you can? And that is so how we, both of us, receive our clients, that we
Mm-hmm.
know that they can.
Absolutely. And
And
it's
we were there.
remarkable what they're actually capable of doing, and the exciting thing about that is, because that thing, when you all of a sudden go, so, well, I'm not stupid, maybe I can, like, and then if you take one little step, and just the things that do yourself the favor and make these steps small, set yourself up for success, instead of, oh, let me, put together a global conference, right? Well, no, let's just kind of do one Facebook Live next week, right? So make the steps small enough so you can get yourself a success. Like I always like look at it like dog training, like set your dog up for success. So you're not going to make your dog win the agility race. No, let's just get them to sort of sit there for 2 seconds longer than they usually do, and build on that success, because nothing's quite as addictive as progress. So when you get yourself little, oh, okay, I didn't realize I could do that, and then you immediately, I think it's almost natural, then your natural curiosity kicks and says, well, now I've done this, now what if I also could do this? And then and that picks up momentum, and next thing you know, you will actually be able to do things even in other fields that you never thought you could.
Absolutely. It really expands you. So we're going to leave you with that there's no fixing that's there's no fixing that's needed. You can. What we do often need is a guidance and gentle and tender guidance. So thank you so much, Anka. Lovely to
Thank
speak to
you.
you as always.
I think you're still live.
I am, and here we go.